The way that you see most political events on TV is through a single camera angle, a medium close-up of the candidate, filmed by one of these cameras in the back of the room. And when you zoom in that far, everything looks kind of flat. But as a filmmaker, I prefer dimension and movement, and I want you to feel like you're there. So today I'll share my techniques, camera, audio, and editing for capturing a more cinematic view of the campaign trail. Hi, I'm Griffin Hammond, the filmmaker behind the Recount series Rewind, which digs deep into the news archives to relive political stories that have shaped American history. I also hit the campaign trail to bring you short films like this. This was Bernie Sanders after winning the New Hampshire primary.
Thank you all very much.
Today I'm here to answer a question I received on Twitter. Greg is curious about my workflow, what cameras and settings I use, and how long it takes to edit. When I go to campaign events, I bring two small cameras. Sometimes the campaign gives me a riser position. Sometimes it's first come, first serve. But if I'm not granted a spot, I have a creative solution. My tripod alone is too short to see above the standing crowd, so I'll use a clamp to attach the camera to the railing on the riser. This is why I like small, lightweight cameras. You'll notice I've also mounted a shotgun microphone, which I'll get to in just a minute. This stationary camera will serve as my wide shot to establish the crowd around Bernie Sanders, and I want him to be sharply in focus while everything else is slightly blurred. So I'm using my fastest lens, f1.2, to create what's called shallow depth of field. Plus, I'm using a 3-stop ND filter to control how much light is hitting the lens. I record my audio separately from the camera using a Zoom H5 audio recorder, which plugs into the mult box that the campaign provides. It's a direct feed to Bernie's microphone.
Political movement.
And because it has two audio inputs, I'm simultaneously recording the sound of the crowd in the room using that shotgun mic. Because I'm not broadcasting this speech live, I have some freedom. I don't need to roll video for the entire event. I have audio capturing everything that Bernie says. So if he starts saying a line that I want on camera, I can quickly pick up my handheld camera and start rolling a close-up. Maybe I missed the beginning of what he said on camera, but because I have audio, I can do a trick that's called a J-cut. A J-cut, shaped like a J, is where the audio starts before the video. I just need to cover that gap either with my secondary camera or with a different shot entirely, maybe a crowd reaction shot that I recorded earlier. This is how, with just two cameras and one person, I can make it look like I had a full production team shooting from all angles. I'm walking around with 3 different lenses, and I use this handheld device, an electronic gimbal, which lets me pick up these very smooth shots. It took me about 2 hours to edit this 45-second video. That's mixing audio sources, adding music, and everything is shot in a flat log profile. So I have to apply what's called a LUT file and do some light color correction. So it's not live breaking news, but it is a much more immersive cinematic view that's ready to share the next morning. I hope you enjoyed going behind the scenes with me today. If you have any questions about these kinds of productions, leave a comment below, or you can send me a message on Twitter. And I regularly share filmmaking tutorials and production stories like this on my own YouTube channel, so check that out, Griffin Hammond. And of course, you should subscribe to The Recount for more short videos about politics. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about these... Whoa, the lights went off. Okay.